Hey guys, I'm Joe Stillwell and this is the Rebels Advocate. And so I decided to do a brand new series. I'm gonna do a series of these videos every now and again, and I'm gonna call it If I Was God. Now here's the premise. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take Bible stories where God intervened or God did something specifically. And I'm gonna point out, what he did, and then I'm gonna see if I was God, how would have I done it differently? And could I have done it better? Now this should be impossible because I'm just a feeble human who, doesn't have the mental capacity that he does, and he's God. He's all powerful, all knowing God. So this should be impossible. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes I actually do a little research or a little planning before I do these videos. Zero planning. Matter of fact, so I came out here to do this video and I was like, I kind of thought it out a little bit. I was like, I'm gonna do it on the flood, and that'll be my first video. And as I got out here, I thought, if I was gonna start, if I'm starting a story that early in the Bible, I should start at the very beginning. And so the spur of the moment, right before I turned the camera on, I decided to do the whole creation thing. So I have not even thought this out. I don't know where I'm gonna go. So I'm gonna try to point out how God did it and how I would have done it. And so literally I'm going to be figuring this out as I go. So this should be fun. So, how did God do it? Well, first of all, he existed, like, we're supposing that this is all true, correct? So, supposedly he existed for all eternity. So, like, as far into the future as you can imagine, that's how long he lived before creating anything. So there's just like nothing, just like him. So I don't know if he was like just floating out in space or non-space, there's no space, or if maybe he had created a heaven for him and it was just like him, or if he had already created the angels maybe, so he had people. I don't know, but for whatever reason, wherever he was, whatever he was doing, he decided, I want to create this whole universe thing, like this massive universe that we can't even measure, but then just like this little tiny blimp, like somewhere in it, not in the center probably, but just this little blip somewhere within the universe. I'm gonna make this tiny little, mostly water planet, and then make these land-dwelling creatures, and they're going to be, whoa, how about Phil? They're going to be where I focus all my attention. So that's what he did. He created it like poof, poof, poof. And it took him like 6 days to do it. And like, that's really quick, but like if you're that, like, I don't know. If you could do it in 6, it looks like you could do it in 6 seconds. You know what I mean? I don't know. But anyhow, it's pretty awesome feat. And then he decided to make people. Now there's some argument, like when I read the Bible, I don't really agree with most Christians, like in my understanding of it. I kind of think he made Adam and Eve and then made other people. Like, I don't believe that in reality, but I believe like the Bible maybe hints at the fact that there were other people. If not, then there's some big holes in the story. So anywho, going by what most Christians believe, like, or it seems like most Christians believe in what I was raised. So he made like one guy, like he made all these animals and then he made one guy and he put him in the garden, like just all by himself. I don't know what the plan was from there. I guess it was like, okay, I'm just going to watch this one dude. Like I created this whole entire universe, this whole entire planet, but I just put this one dude right just in this garden. And I'm going to sit and watch this one guy just play with the animals, name the animals. And that was pretty cool. Adam did that. He's like naming all the animals. He's like, that's a hippopotamus and that's a tiger and all that. But eventually he got bored. Like literally that guy, Adam, he had to tell God, like, dude, I'm like really bored. I'm lonely. I need something to do. And so God's like, okay. And he put him to sleep and then like performed surgery and like pulled a rib out of him and made a woman. Could have snapped his fingers and made a woman. I'm getting ahead of myself. That's what I would have done. Well, let's stick to what God did. Took the rib out, made a woman. Adam was like, awesome. Now I gotta back up a little bit because I missed something. When God made this, like He made these people completely innocent. Adam and Eve, completely innocent. They don't even know right from wrong. So what God did it do? He decided to make a tree that contained fruit that if you ate it, you knew right from wrong. Horrible at it. I'm getting ahead of myself again. This is what our all-knowing, all-powerful God did. And He put that tree right in the Garden of Eden, right there with them. And then, but He told them not to eat it. So, but they don't know right from wrong, so I don't know how to. Anyway. And then God was like, well, I should also put the serpent in the garden with them. Because the serpent's evil. I don't know. Is the serpent the devil? I'm not sure, but He put the serpent in there, and apparently it's like a snake, but it walked on its legs, so it must have been more like a lizard. I don't know. I don't know if it stood up or cried. I'm not sure. But anyway, the serpent was really evil and deceiving, and God's like, I should put it in the garden with a perfect man and woman. Nothing bad could happen. But something bad happened because the serpent talked to Eve, and the serpent's like, hey, you should eat this fruit. And so Eve's like, yeah, cool, I'll eat this fruit, because she don't know any better. She doesn't have the knowledge of good and evil yet, so she can't know any better. Even if God told her not to, she still can't know any better, because she doesn't have the knowledge of good and evil. She doesn't know right from wrong until she eats the fruit. And then she talks Adam into it, like nothing bad happens. Adam eats the fruit, and then I guess after Adam ate it, it's like boom, both of them, like they immediately knew right from wrong. And like they're like, oh no, we're naked, and so they immediately hid and had to make themselves clothes out of fig leaves or something. And then of course God comes down, all-knowing, all-powerful God comes down, and He's like, Adam, where are you? Where are you at? I can't find you. And Adam's like, But anyway, that was a big deal, and so God kicked him out of the garden, and then because of that, now small children have cancer, and tornadoes and hurricanes happen. And every bad thing you can imagine is because of that. Because two people who didn't know right from wrong ate a fruit that they were deceived by a serpent that was put there by God. So anyway, that's what God did. So what would have I done? Honestly, this is pretty easy. Probably nothing. Like, I'd have probably just stayed in heaven. Like, if I had the angels and stuff, I'd be like, well, this is pretty sweet deal I got. Then I could have created a universe and just been like, you know what, I want to give people free will, but I'm only going to create people that I know, because I'm all-knowing. I see the future. So I'm only going to create people that I know are going to be decent human beings. Because let's face it, there's a lot of decent human beings in the world, right? Some really great people. Just create those people. Don't create the Hitlers of the world, Don't, it's pretty simple. Really, that's probably what I would have done. But if I went more his route, I would have created Adam and Eve at the same time. Well, first of all, like when I created the earth, it wouldn't have took me 6 days because I'm all powerful. I'd have just been like, bam. Because I've lived for all eternity. So I've had plenty of time to think about it. So I know exactly how I want everything. So there's not a whole, I don't have to think it out. I've been thinking about it forever, literally. So I just snap my finger, boom, universe. It would have took me 2 seconds tops to create the world, is what I'm thinking. Then I would have just made perfect people. You can give people free will, but just create the good ones. Literally. If you're a decent human being and you never really done anything that bad, I mean, we've all done stuff maybe we're not proud of, but, you're not about killing people or being, mean to people or hurting people, then you'd be here today. You'd be created, and you would live a long life, and then when you died, or if there's even death, I wouldn't even have people die. I'd just be like, hey, let's say everybody lives 100 years, and then 100 years, I'll personally come down, talk to your family, like, hey, everybody, it's okay, I'm taking them with me. And the whole family would be like, we're going to miss them, but we know we'll be there, in 20 more years, because, and then I would take them up, to heaven, which is better. Or probably better, I would just created the people in heaven. Then they don't age or nothing, everything's perfect. Because if you think about it, if you go to heaven when you die, you know, all these people are going to heaven. Do they have free will in heaven? Because if they do, then, I mean, what's the difference? You could have just made them in heaven to begin with. Just make good people. Put them in heaven. Like, we could have everything we got down here, just had in heaven. So that's just some of the ideas. That's how I would have done it. I think it's a little better than what God did. Tell me what you think. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. I know this is kind of a silly video, but it's just a new little thing I wanted to do. And if you notice the next few videos of this, I'm wearing the same clothes. It's probably just because I knocked a couple of them out at the same time. Because this is pretty easy to do. Maybe I'll do the flood next. I don't know. Anyway, bye guys. Talk to you later. Subscribe. Check me out on Patreon, patreon.com/therebelsadvocate, and you can support the show. Thanks very much, and we'll talk to you later. Goodbye.